Is it not a matter of justice that victims of pranks and harassment return as bloodthirsty killers? Until Dawn is my new fan-made chapter for Dead by Daylight. The Washingtons were a wealthy family with 3 children. Every winter, Josh, the eldest, would host a get-together with friends of the 3 siblings in their vacation home, which was to be the undoing of his 2 sisters in 2014. It was just a silly prank that forced Hannah to flee the property on Blackwood Mountain. Her twin sister ran after her to comfort her, and both were driven off a cliff top by a terrifying monstrosity and fell into the abandoned mines. But Hannah survived the disaster. She buried her sister and waited several days for help. Her broken leg and strange shrill screams kept her from investigating the mines further. She tried to resist hunger, but surrendered to it after a full month. Senseless Hannah dug her sister out again and gorged on her body. And an ancient spirit took possession of her. Hannah transformed into a Wendigo, a pale, strong and agile monster driven by hatred and vengeance. Josh's friends would return in a year, and it would try them. It would deceive them, corner them, and rip their heads from their shoulders. Pleased, another entity gazed at so much malice, and whisked Hannah away to a world where she could indulge in these acts, and where it never becomes dawn. The unique power of the Wendigo is called sadistical screeches. It enables the special ability Climb and Pounce, with which the Wendigo can jump onto walls and ceilings and initiate pounces on survivors from there. While hanging from a wall or a ceiling, the Wendigo is only allowed to move for a short time. Motionless survivors cannot be seen by the Wendigo, but perceived with a killer instinct effect while the Wendigo itself stands still. When this happens, the Wendigo can create a screech radius in which survivors are still invisible but can no longer be perceived from afar. They also gain a short sprint burst, but should not try to leave the screech radius, since this tremendously increases the Wendigo's movement speed. This so-called Wendigo ambush also triggers when the Wendigo leaves the screech radius. The survivor's only chance of survival is to hide, even in plain sight, until the screech radius vanishes after a few seconds. With add-ons, the Wendigo can apply status effects on survivors inside a screech radius. It can increase the range of its jumps, move for a longer time while on a wall or a ceiling, and even create small screech aisles that never vanish. The Wendigo's terror radius may shrink to 0 after leaving the area, and the auras of survivors inside the screech radius could be revealed to it. Its ultra-rare add-ons injure all healthy survivors that remain close after screeching, and expose afar survivors while Wendigo ambush is active. The Wendigo comes with 3 new perks that provide unique turns and chases, keep survivors off monitored areas and interrupt their healing actions. Off the cliff top. Enables you to damage exit gates and generators while injuring survivors. Reveals the aura of the closest survivor after any injury if you lose the chase. Pantomimed Scream. Grants you the ability to cancel vault and break actions and increases your movement speed afterwards. This perk has a cooldown. Scourge Hook, a herald of evil. Survivors in range of a Scourge Hook suffer from the hemorrhage and oblivious status effects. Additionally, the perk turns Scourge Hooks into crow bombs after a survivor is hooked on them. Startling these crows increases the aforementioned range. Sam was Hannah's best friend and tried to stop the others from their stupid prank. After Hannah's supposed death, she tried to put the past behind her and come to terms with herself a year later. But on the very first night, a psychopath turned up at the lodge, stalking her through the tunnels in the basement. As a brave and strong-willed woman that will not let fear take control of her easily, she took up the fight against the Wendigos together with her remaining friends. Sam comes with 3 perks that improve her team's skill check efficiency, counter cumbersome status effects, and reduce the trial's tempo. Diligent and Caring. Activates when you trigger a loud noise notification while the killer is away. Increases your and close teammates' great skill check bonus and protects them from startling crows. Butterfly Effect. A token-based perk that grants you a counter to the exhausted and exposed status effects when put into the dying state while not suffering from exhaustion. Boom, Totem Prophecy. Decreases everyone's movement and action speeds in close range to a boon totem. When Mike returned to Washington Lodge a year after the tragic accident, Hannah snatched his current girlfriend. He immediately grabbed the gun left in the cabin and chased after them through the woods. Unfortunately, Mike mistook a stranger for the Wendigo who had set himself the goal of fighting the monsters. After learning the truth, Mike traveled to the closed sanatorium to kill the remaining Wendigos caged on site. He blew up the whole place and would do it again, if necessary. Mike comes with 3 new perks that demonstrate his athletic skills, have pellets cursed by the entity, and reveal his determination to rescue his friends. Competitive Spirit. A token-based perk that replaces medium vaults with fast vaults and applies the exhausted status effect for a short time. Scourge Pellets. Person of Action. Converts the killer's Scourge Hook mechanic to survivor's pellets. With this perk, Scourge Pellets are revealed to you and reset if they remain unbroken for a short time. If any survivor drops a Scourge Pellet, their aura and the killer's aura are revealed to all survivors. Class President. grants you a sprint burst when running to a hooked survivor. If you perform an unhook during the endgame collapse, its active timer is increased. Get ready to be bound to a small area and pursued by a crawling madness. Dead by Daylight Until Dawn is available never. No way.